So you may have to double check your audio.
Yeah, done that.
Hopefully we will. I'm just waiting to see when this all goes live. I might just have to do a refresh.
It's live now. Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, so welcome to ANZCRL Combined Racing League's Spa, 2.4 hours of Spa for 2021. I'm your host, Woody Lizard, and alongside me is Huds21. So welcome, Huds.
Yeah. Howdy, here we go
Once
again.
again,
Hopefully third time lucky, eh?
Yeah, that's it. We've just had a little bit of technical issues. We obviously had a disconnect from Commander Jim right at the def, so
yep.
They're eating up a little bit of their time from the actual race time. But at least we're going to get this race started with Commander Jim at the back of the grid. But they're all sorted now, and they'll get on through with this formation lap, and it'll be game on, race on. So Logical Sports on pole. You go through it there, Huds.
Yep.
I'll get the few other things done.
Okay, we got Logical Sports on pole. In second is Dark Racing 40. In third is Dado Racer. In fourth is Weary Knight. In fifth, after unfortunately that one grid penalty, is Tim and Jat. In sixth is Slide Science. In seventh is Maddie Seeking. In eighth is Dark Lords 78. In ninth is Nurburger 79. In 10th is Night Havoc. In 11th is Quick Mick. And in 12th is Commander Jim.
Yeah, so it's going to get very heaty up very shortly here in Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium, up in the hills, for 24 hours game simulation time. Looking forward to this one.
Yeah,
I think it's
really
the
have
second.
been looking forward to this all week.
Yeah, it's actually the third running of doing it this way. We did do it a couple of years where we ran 3 sessions with different times, time compression, and then it was also part of one of our team's endurance, our team's GT3. I think it was GT Challenge or something.
Yep.
And we did it over 2 sessions. I think that one was. I think it might have been.
So the endurance events keep coming thick and fast here on Australian New Zealand Combined Racing League. Remember last week you had the Long Beach 2-hour race. How long was that? 2 hours or 2.5 hours?
2.5 hours.
2.5
5 minutes longer than what they are tonight. And I tell you what, yes, we've been in endurance mode lately.
And I reckon it was about 126 laps the leader completed. Yeah,
something like that, something ridiculous, but we're probably looking at around about 62 laps around here tonight, around Spa, so we've got Illogical Sports on pole waiting for the green light. Oh, there's no green light, they just go, sorry, I forgot about the green light, so they'll have to say when it's go. As Darky has been caught napping, and Weary has made a great move into second position, nice and early for P51 Sim Sports to be 1 and 2. As Darky fights back, but very wide out of resource. Now this is where it's exciting, coming up here into the entry of El Rouge and up to Radion. You don't want to hit that wall to the left on screen, driver's right, as that is the wall of death.
Oh, he's pushing hard already, isn't he? Illogical.
Oh, and Slide is into the wall.
He has a habit of doing that early on in races, unfortunately.
That's not going to be good for him. He's going to be probably, by the time he gets around and into pits and damage repair, it's going to be a lap down almost.
It's not a great start to a 2.5 hour race.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Slide. As we may just want you to try and put up the little timings or whatever up on the, oh, not the timings, sorry, the one on the left that goes up the top left.
That one?
Not that one. Yeah, that's it. So the other day, that's the go. So that's looking good on the screen for everyone at the moment. So we're looking at Weary Knight just trying to chase down his teammate in the Nissan GTR Nismo, the number 75 P51 Sim Sports out in front with the 85 Bentley. Chasing hard, but then Dark Racing 40 in the number, in the 63 Scudero Rapper Olio Audi. Now we've got a mixture of some of the cars that have chosen the endurance version of the car, which will give them a bit more fuel in their running in their tanks. If you go onto the speedo, I guess we can probably see what Darky's running. I'd say he'd be on full fuel tanks, 115, and I know that the other bloke, he's not in the endurance car, but I think we're looking at the number one of the Nürburgring 79 in an Audi Team Sport. I believe he's actually on 95. I thought that was a bigger fuel tank in the endurance car, but maybe I could be wrong.
So Weary's obviously got one of the biggest fuel tanks, 125 odd litres or more.
Oh, he's going to need it in that big Bentley, I tell you. It's a big, heavy car. Be using a lot of fuel.
A lot of juice, yep.
Probably looking about two pit stops, as Sly's still holding onto the back of him, but I'd say that he'd be best to go in the pits. I reckon we'll see him being in the pits. Yes, there he goes. He'll be kicking himself after finding some good time in that Porsche and getting it all wrong coming out of Radeon, which is just up here, up the top, through here. Oh, as a Logical's looking nice. Look at him come up over the top.
Look at
one of the Darky right on the back of Weary Knight. Weary's in defensive mode on lap 2. You can hear the big Bentley's just covering its inside line, but he's needed to make sure he can hold it through Lecombe, which he's done well. It's always a hard part of a race, isn't it, Huds, early on when you've got guys right on the back of your bumper at the same time, and you're thinking, geez, just give us a bit of breathing space. This is endurance racing, mate. But
it's heavy fuel loads, cold tyres. The car doesn't work as good as what it does on a light fuel load. You know, so it's pretty tough at the moment out there for the guys. They're doing well.
Yeah, Tim and Jack in that Renault in 4th.
Looking good. Looking very good.
Yeah, he's looking nice. And then Dado Racer, he's dropped a couple of spots from the start of the race.
He wasn't 3rd.
From 2nd. Oh, was he 3rd? That's right, 3rd, sorry. 3rd down to 6, so 3 spots. But he'll be happy with that. He'll be comfortable. He's got, obviously, just behind him, he's got Dark
Lord, yep.
2nd of the Renaults. Oh, I think, was that, I thought I might have heard a spin there, but no, it wasn't. It was just my hearing. But Matty Seeking, doesn't that Cadillac look good on track?
It looks fantastic. It really does look fantastic, that little car.
See how he goes coming up here. So the old bus stop used to be just around in here somewhere, back there, I think, where it was opened up in the track. You can see where the road is. Back of the not in the late 90s, I think it might have been, early 2000s.
Yeah, I reckon it was
used to have
early 2000s. I reckon you're right.
Trying to slow them down a little bit, and then they didn't have some of them. He didn't have the chicane at the end. They used to just come on through onto the main straight, the starting straight. So Slide Science is back out again. He's got some damage still showing there. You'd think that would have been repaired.
That's just, superficial. That's just what we're seeing, surely.
Or maybe he didn't have it all selected properly.
The way it's moving around. Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, things haven't gone well for him early on for Slide Science. There's no safety cars through this event either, so he's just going to have to knuckle down and see if the race can come to him a little bit for minor positions. As Quick Mick, he's travelling on his own a little bit. Late entry tonight.
Just going to go back to Weary Knight. He's closed his gap right up now to Logical Sports, his teammate in the Nissan GTR, the other P51 Sim Sports car. So we've got 2 P51s in different makes, 1 and 2 at the moment.
Yeah, there's 3 P51 Sim Sports cars all out on track, with the third one being Matty Seeking in 6th position at the moment in that Cadillac. We were seeing earlier the red Cadillac, but look at that Bentley 85. Now this car, you want to stick around if you're watching now and wait for the around that hour mark has gone. So around another, well, just hang around for another 45 minutes or so, and you will see the dark come in, and obviously the nice green glow around that the grill of the
that British
front.
British racing green.
Yeah, it's got a green fluorescent light around the front grill.
Okay, yep.
But just as they thought, as early predictions were, that this Bentley, they were going to try and set a pace to try and run. Oh, there he goes. He's just had a little touch on the side with Illogical Sports after Illogical's made a mistake into the chicane. He outbraked himself, but it's all back to normal. He probably wouldn't have got any damage. If it was, it would have only been minor. So what I was just saying, that the plan, as Illogical's turning early and clobbered the war at the source. Don't want to be doing that. It's a long race, and after leading the race for only 4 laps, he's given it there to Weary Night. But the plan from the P51 Sim Sports originally, look how loose that
car is going through Eau Rouge and Radion. Wow.
Radion, that was insane. But on their plan, I reckon, was to try and
go past.
He's obviously got
maybe
a time penalty he was getting rid of.
Yeah, that's what it was.
What's happened to Darky? Darky's dropped down to 5th.
Dropped right back, hasn't he?
And now he gets right in the clinches of
Night
the
Havoc.
virtual drivers of Night Havoc and Commander Jim. And this is what they'll say in the P51 Simsports. They want the Bentley out there to try and run these Audis to the ground. And they're doing a good job of it. And Nürburgring, my man that I thought was going to be coming, maybe finishing 3rd, has had to come into the pits early. And so, yeah, things aren't going well for Nürburgring either. Unless it was a strategy call, because we know that some of these cars, they're going to have to pit probably twice. They won't get to the end with only 1 stop unless they fuel conserve. So the second stop won't be for much fuel at all. But I think that might be a bit too early to come in. But he has got the endurance car, which I always thought was a bigger fuel tank. So if that's the case, he could just well and truly get him to the end of the race by having one more stop for his full tank.
There's Tim and Jack at the moment. He's in 3rd position. He'd be loving it. He's got Dado breathing down his neck in the Mercedes. But he's had a very good start as Tim and Jack in that Renault car.
Looks like Dado, look at the pace he's got through here. He's going to try and see if he can set him up at the chicane. He's had to lift.
Launch him on.
And Tim and Jack's just positioned his car just in the middle of the track there to protect any challenge from Dado. Dado's trying to keep Darky behind him as well. The Darky's around about just falling off the pace here, so I don't know if he's had a little bit of a problem, Darky, and a bit of damage. But
Tim's just a little bit wide going into the source. Dado gets a good exit coming out of there. There's sorts of men out from the boys, Eau Rouge and Radion.
Yeah, so you don't want to hit that wall, Dado, on your right. That's on Project Cars. Anyone that's on the game knows that as soon as you hit that wall, the car absolutely gets destroyed.
Oh,
there has to be a brush on the wall. And slowly you can see slide signs. He's only up the road a little bit here, going through Brussels. As Dado's up on his time in that first sector, he's getting a nice tow down the Kemmel Straight from Tim and Jack.
So Darky's had a problem, but he's still done the quickest of, by 2/10 on the last lap with a 2:22.662. So it was probably just a bit of an oopsie somewhere along the way. So no damage, I'd say. He'll be back in amongst these two very shortly. There he is, just in the background there, Dark Racing 40.
Yeah, he's looking still fairly strong. He's within earshot of all the cars. He can hear them all, so there's no problems there. It's a long race. They've only just been going for 14 minutes or so. So we had to actually do a formation lap from the start of the 2 hours 25 due to the restart of this race lobby. And here goes Weary Night. He's obviously just following Illogical at the moment. They've got a nice little healthy margin of around about 4 seconds to the battle that we're watching previously with Tim and Jack and Dado. Looks like Weary's just happy to stay behind a Logical at the moment here, Huds.
I reckon they're trying to get a gap between the next group, which is third place Tim, which is obviously happening 4.5 seconds at the moment. They'll be pushing each other, egging each other on these top two, the P51 Sim Sports cars.
That's right, and Logical Sports has just come fresh from winning that endurance race that we were talking about at Long Beach in the LMPH car,
yep.
The Toyota. Out-foxed everyone in the LMPH class that was, and he did one less pit stop to everyone else.
Yeah, he's
making that race in 2 stops.
He really is going well at the moment, full of confidence, full of himself. He's doing really well. So it's almost 5 seconds now, the gap between Weary Knight in second and Tim and Jack. Oh, sorry, it's 4 seconds, not 5. Looking at the wrong one.
So slide science, as we were talking about at the moment, is just not...
There's Dado just getting that draft behind Tim and Jack, putting him right under pressure, but Tim's holding really tough here. It's good to see.
Yeah, and so when the cars are absolutely on the limit after the Camel straight into Lecom, aren't they, Hud? So
yep.
And that's what Dado needs to be, such a good professional type driver. That's why we call him the old statesman. But any little tap on the rear of your car, you're such on the braking point of tyre grip, because you're braking so hard that it'll actually send the car in front off the track fairly easy. So, and then that's the one thing that Dado has to think of as well. He's going to come in there a lot faster after getting the big toe down Camel Straight. So he's got to brake that little bit earlier than what Tim and Jack's doing to try and avoid from hitting him up the backside.
That
fairly
car's
overcast skies.
Yeah, she's great, isn't it? It's typical Spa.
That's right. No rain in the forecast, so that's a good thing that we've seen a lot in the real life. They always seem to have a big bit of rain somewhere along the line, so
there was massive
we'll
rain.
No rain.
Massive rain in Belgium on Thursday, I think it was, or maybe it was yesterday.
Well, Germany's, but unfortunately our thoughts go out to a lot of people in Germany with the big floods that they've had, just annihilating some of the towns. So they've had some bad weather over the northern hemisphere at the moment.
Oh, Dado!
Oh, and look for Darky. Darky will be right behind him somewhere.
There he is.
There he is. Darky had a nice little run coming out of the chicane.
So Dado just seemed to lose a little bit of time to Tim and Jack coming out of Blanchimont. The exit wasn't that good, and then he continued, and then coming into the bus stop, he just outbraked himself, and probably just needs to take a bit of a breath at the moment.
I tell you what, those two team virtual drivers by TX3, they're doing not a bad job in 6th and 7th at the moment. Just off the pace a little bit, both those two Audis, but you know, it's early on, as you were saying, and the track's going to come to them as well.
Yep.
As it grips up a little bit.
These three now, they're really bunched up.
Anyone watching the stream and want to give us a shout out on the stream, by all means give us a yell. We're here for another 2 hours or so, so a bit of viewer interaction will be keep us entertained as well.
Yep. Fire away with the questions.
So one thing that we know too, with this is our what is this one? I think it's our 4th running of the event, and back in 2018, that's when we first started doing it, and it was we actually had a multi-class. It was a GT and GT3 class, and that was done over 3 sessions back in 2018, and then in 2019, that was when it was part of the Intercontinental GT Challenge, and again that was over 3 race sessions, and it was just the GT3 cars. But that one there over the 3 sessions, but they all had teammates. So we had the eventual winners with Shads and Cosmic Robbie, and they were in the number 147 Slightly Mad Racing Acura NSX car that hasn't featured much in GT3 since our Intercontinental GT Challenge back in 2019. Not many people give the Acura much of a run. I tell you what, Shad's had that thing on
That
rails.
Mercedes going through Blanchimont is, you know, pushing really wide. Really impressed with Tim and Jack at the moment. I know it's only 20 minutes into this race, but he's held tough. He's weathered a bit of the storm from Dado, and he's pulled a tiny little gap, but he hasn't looked flustered or anything so far, so that's great for him.
And he's running consistent laps too, you know,
Yep.
like we saw that, it was half a second off his best time so far in this race, but, you know, and that's just the consistency that he's running, and I think he's taken a leaf out of a Logical's book. That's how Logical Sports has done so well, is just consistent laps.
Yep.
As you can see, Logical's did a 22.9 that previous lap. He's him and it looks like Night Havoc in the virtual team cars. You can see him. He's just slowly getting onto the back of, and we just may see Dark Racing 40 put a little bit of pressure coming on down the hill here at the moment. But I was just saying that that's what Night Havoc's doing. He's just slowly getting a little bit closer to this battle.
Yeah, he certainly is. Those two green Audis in the back. That's got a bit of a problem. I'm not sure, Dado, whether he's just out braking himself a little bit in some of these corners. I think it's the medium fast corners that he seems to be having problems with. Just pulls over there to the left just to defend his line, I think. Pujon here, he had dramas there, and he has dramas again. He's a little bit too wide, the car gets loose in the rear end. I reckon Dark Racing's just lining him up now, waiting for that mistake, just piling the pressure on. And again, he's a little bit too wide, or maybe not so much there, but this Audi looks a far more balanced car than the Mercedes at this stage of the race.
So I just saw Dark Lord go into the pits as well. So obviously he's gone in maybe for a little bit of damage in that Renault or something there. So he had to call in there.
So Slide Science is in the 223, so well, he's, so the car must be okay. We're just looking at damage that's been fixed, just not fixed for us maybe.
Yeah, that's right, but he's about to go a lap down. You can see on that track map as well, those red dots are the cars that are going to be putting him a lap down there. They're a lap basically in front of him. So the white dots are the cars that are on the same, basically predicted to be on the same lap. So yeah, so at the moment he's only got Dark Lord in front of him, but well, he's got everyone in front of him basically, but you can just see the leading pack have been slowly catching him after having that damage on that lap 2 on the first lap. That was lap 2 of the race.
So these three again. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, I was just going to say the first lap of this race was the formation lap. Oh, Commander Jim's
here he goes. Dado's having a look.
I think he's starting to learn from his lessons there. He came out of the slipstream to do a bit of his braking too, so I think he's in a little bit of that hot air as well.
He just had that,
in front of him.
That aero wash, I think the previous lap or the one before, which pushed him wide.
And Quick Mick now has gone into the pits in that Audi, so something's gone on for Quick Mick. Yes, he's got damage.
It's a bit banged up.
So that's on lap 9 for him as well for damage, or lap 10 I should say.
Oh, look how close that Mercedes is.
There's a cameraman trying to pick up where Dado is, and this is why endurance racing it's actually an achievement just to finish these races as well. As you can see, obviously the guys that have actually had some problems early on, Nürburger, Dark Lord, Quick Mick and Slide Side, so they're going to be in a nice little battle for the rest of the race. Oh, we've just had a disconnect from someone, which looks like it might have been Slide Science.
Yeah, he's gone. Yep.
So he's not been the best night for Slide Science. So the Porsche has only made 10 laps.
Bit of a shame. Tell you what, Darky's not hanging about here. Dark Racing 40, he was the quickest going around last lap, 222.4. Oh, Dado gets a little bit sideways. This should give Dark Racing a good run up to the source here. Just a little bit too far back, or is he going to stick it up the inside? We've seen Dado here, he didn't run wide that lap, but gets a decent exit there. There's that wall on your right hand side where you don't want to get too close to it. You get the old, what do you call it?
Well, it's a wall of death. It's
wall
the
of death.
terminal damage pretty much from the car. They won't even get up the top of the radion up here without the engine expiring. So
that's right.
A little bit of a glitch in the game. You don't have to side glance it. Not even. We're not talking about nosing it in. I mean just brushing it on the side of the car, and it'll just pretty much blow the car up. So.
Right.
Instantaneous too.
Oh,
Dado's.
Oh, they come together.
No. And did they come to? They didn't come together during the. No, it wasn't. It was Dado came together with.
Oh dear. Dear. And that puts Night Racing, Night Havoc up to 4th. Dado back to 7th. Yeah. You won't be happy with that.
No, I was going to say Commander Jim, and also who's else in the pits there? Is that? Oh no, not in the pits. Sorry, another penalty. That's from Dark Lord. Sorry, he's got a penalty. As has Night Havoc and Commander Jim. Both got 1 second. Night Havoc with 2.
Dark Lord as well. So yeah, that was a bit of excitement there between Dark Racing 40 and Dado. Just coming out of Dado's.
His car hasn't been really looking stable all night long either. So obviously his car has got some pace, but yeah.
A little bit too loose, isn't it?
That's it.
There it goes again. So there's Dark Racing 40. I don't think he would have really much damage at all as he comes into Blanchimont now.
So it looks like we've just got confirmation with Slide Science there. He obviously had a little bit of a tyre issue bug going on in the car, so he reverted to to wet tyres to see if that would help him because he had no grip at all on the softs, and I don't think that even helped him. So he still had the issues. So obviously he's caught it a night. It's going to be a long night to try and deal with that.
So these two,
for everyone else.
Yeah, these two P51 Sims points out in front, they've really gapped themselves, haven't they? Pretty similar times, 2:22.4. You see 6 seconds from Logical to in first place to Tim and Jack in 3rd. So they're really controlling this race at the moment in the first 25 minutes.
Yeah, they are, but again, I'm just sort of thinking with Dado Racer, that's the second time now. He had a problem with the side glancing when they were running side by side last week at the Long Beach race. I think it was with Dark Lord?
I can't remember.
Well, whoever was in the GT 3 car that he was running, they were going for the lead of the race. And again, he's just been caught unawares of where the car was and just sort of give him no room, and they've touched, and that's happened with Darky just then. So Darky was unlucky there. He had the car basically up on the ripple strip and was trying to go with Dado, sort of gave him the old Shane Van Gisbergen. Straighten the steering, you could say, maybe. So unfortunately that caused them both to spin, and Dado has been the one that's hurt the most.
So there's Night Havoc, the first of the virtual drivers, Audi. He's running really quickly now. He's just under 2:23 on his last lap. And you were saying a few minutes ago, they were pacing themselves, and as the fuel's coming off, they're getting quicker and quicker.
Yeah, well, he's right up there with Tim and Jack now. Yep. So when Tim and Jack thought he had a little bit of breathing space after seeing Dado and Darky leave, Night Havoc's back on the scene. So, but Weary Knight's in the Bentley's had an issue too. He's fallen into the clutches of this Renault. So he was only a second behind Illogical leading the race. So he's obviously had a spin. You can actually see that grille lighten up because he's got his headlights on now, so it looks good throughout the night as well on that Bentley.
This could be interesting going up here.
Just a little lift they need. They can't really go flat out through here, up through Radion. Just a little lift after El Rouge just to settle the car.
He got a good run through there, Tim and Jack.
He got a fabulous run. He started to gap Night Havoc.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want to be out there. You can end up nosing it into the wall on the right-hand side if the car lets go. Many drivers have done that before. You just see all the pickup there on the outside.
Night Havoc with a 2:22.1 on the last lap. Some of that would have been getting a bit of a tow from Tim and Jack, obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
But he's certainly in a strong position though, isn't he?
Yeah, coming over up into, that was that campus, isn't it? I think. Turns 13 and 14, and now they're coming up to Stavlop.
Oh, he's on it, isn't he?
And will we see him try a big move here through Blanchimont?
If he can hold with him through Blanchimont, he's going to close it up, obviously. Then he might go for it coming in the bus stop. Tim gets a little bit loose.
Yeah, and that caused Night Havoc to lift. If he didn't have to lift, I reckon he could have dived. He's going to have a look to see. You can't clip him. You've got to try and move out of the way. He had the opportunity to sort of move on in that braking area to not clip Night Havoc. But
yes, redressed.
Happens. Yeah, so Tim and Jack keeps going on.
Yeah,
but that's
good to see.
It brought
Dark Racing
back here again. That's exactly right, and not too far is Commander Jim in the second of the Team Virtual.
He'll be licking his chops
cars.
now. There is.
As it starts, you can just see that afternoon, real late afternoon sun. And, he's had a moment. Darky, I think, may have had to lift off there just to avoid any incident, and that's what separates the go-getters and the actually more experienced drivers. They lift just to avoid a bit of an incident, as Darky did then, and they're hard on the brakes here into Lacombe. And we don't know what this corner is, but some people just say corner.
That's the second part of the comp.
Oh, is it?
Yes, yeah, definitely.
Oh, okay, so
this is Melody now, and then we're coming up to No Name now.
Oh, this is the No Name.
This is the No Name. It's probably one of the most difficult and annoying corners on the whole circuit, I reckon.
Oh, it's a very important corner, as you can see what Darky's doing. Coming into Poulon now, and you get a good run.
He's got it.
And well driven by Night Havoc, just staying in front. What great action we're seeing here in the what we've just been running for roughly half an hour now, just over half an hour for 30 minutes. We've still got an hour 50 remaining.
Malmedy. Sorry. That's it. I'm reading it. Still can't read it. Looking off a piece of paper. Beautiful.
That's the go. So it's all looking. Everyone's starting to settle in. All that first part of the race where obviously, the guy that I thought might have been on a podium, and it's not over yet for him, is Nürburgring, way down in 9th at the moment. He had an early pit stop. We're not too sure why. We didn't see if it was from damage or not. He wasn't in the pits for too long, so whatever it was, it could be actually a strategic call. We're not too sure, as he's running one of the endurance models of the Audi.
Yeah, I had a look at Dado, quickest man on the circuit last lap, the 2:22.1.
Yeah, see what he's doing this time around.
2:22.5, so he's still on it.
So it wasn't yeah, he's keeping it nice and consistent.
And there's Commander Jim just in the foreground there. The background, sorry.
So starting to get dark fairly quickly here at Spa as we've got times 10
Oh,
time
look at
progression
Dark
as
racing.
Darky. But he's going to
this.
get held up with Tim and Jack. I think Tim and Jack's had a bad run down the Camel Straight. But Darky's made the move around the outside, and now he's going to put a lot of pressure on Tim and Jack. He wants to get back into third position. He's fought hard. Darky was up there early on in the race and made a mistake and will drop down to about 6, and he got challenging for 4th position with Dado, and then they came as Tim and Jack has slowed down a little bit earlier than what Darky would anticipate, but avoided any incident. So easy to run wide here and get your time penalties through Pouon. It's starting to get dark.
It's been pretty much where it's been at for the entire race, really. 3rd, 4th and 5th, it's always been tight in there.
But look at that Bentley now, they're starting to get dark. He's right up on the back of Illogical again within 2 seconds. So either Illogical's had a problem or Weary Knight has found some big times as Quick Mick, unfortunately, is in the pits again. So obviously a late starter into this race, but obviously things aren't going too well for him at the moment.
This is the battle, this is where it's at. Darky gets a bit loose, bus stop. Tim and Jack, very, very impressive. Very impressed with him tonight. We have seen in the past, I think it's fair to say, maybe the pressure's got to him a little bit. Especially in moments like these, he's pretty much had it for the entirety of this race so far. We've had probably about 35, 40 minutes.
That's
so
right.
He's been very impressive, and he hasn't blinked yet. So
no, and hopefully he keeps continue on in that way as he's run really wide. You could say that was really a little mistake there. That's going to cost him, because I think Darky is going to get that spot around the outside as Tim and Jack is tucked in now for the draft. Down the Camel Straight into Lacombe, and Darky is now back up to 3rd. And what's he got? About an 8-second chase to get to 2nd now of Weary Knight in the Bentley. As Quick Mick's still in the pits. He's in there for a long time. He's moving now by the looks of things on the dot, so obviously that was for damage, I would say.
So Logical Sports might have had a bit of a drama. Done a 2:27 in his last lap. We haven't seen much of him for a while. And I reckon just as I spoke... whoa!
Oh, no! Oh, jeez.
Finish him off, why not?
Just give him another tap.
Yeah,
so obviously... who was that? Night Havoc?
That was
running
Night
backwards
Havoc
with Tim and Jack.
Yep.
Yeah. And now they're going to be a little bit damaged in that car, because that was a fairly good hit too.
Yeah.
So that could be almost go for damage repair, because you're going to lose a lot of top end speed down the Camel Straight and also down this back part of the circuit as well.
And that's allowed Dado to get past these two, and he's back to 5th now. Here he comes again.
But all is lost for the virtual team drivers by TX3, as they have got Commander Jim now taking the spot in 4th. But not for long, I don't reckon. Dado in this AMG Mercedes Vazmac 159.
So we might just have a look at Tim now, and he's doing a bit of an off track at the moment.
Ooh, straight through.
Where are we? Bus stop.
Trying to, and he's trying to get into the. I think what he's trying to do actually is get his strategy right.
Yeah, that's why
he's gone off the road. He's probably been fiddling around. So here he goes.
It's probably not a bad time for it to happen. Well, was never a good time, but he probably wasn't that far away from coming in the pits anyway. We can just bring up his speedo. Though he's 70 litres, so he's probably going to go a bit longer, but got to adjust, I guess, don't you? Hopefully he can get back on the pace.
At the end of the day too, if he fills up that tank full of fuel, gets his tyres on, the damage repair, his next stop, he's going to have to put a little bit more fuel than the others, but he'll get to the end of the race. As we said, most people on the 2 stops, so he's within the window there, so not all bad news.
No, absolutely not. He can take a lot of confidence out of that first stint there, but it just seemed to, as it got darker there, he just a bit of a commentator's curse, and he went from really good to a little bit not so good. So let's hope he gets back on the pace.
Yeah, it's funny that he actually got into Night Havoc again though. Night Havoc was running backwards and he wasn't really on the brakes unless Night Havoc all of a sudden hit the brakes, but Tim and Jack was seemed to just be following him where he probably should have tried to get out of his way, but maybe Tim and Jack thought he was going to spin it around or something like that. So
yeah, it's easy to say from up here, so
exactly right. So Dado now just trying to
these cars look spectacular. That green Audi car looks fantastic at night, so does the Mercedes.
Yeah, I want to also see Dark Lord's
Renault. Look at the pace.
Electric blue. His car's been fairly loose through Blanchimont for Dado, but there it looked like it was on rails, so he's hard on the brakes. So just in front of Commander Jim, obviously is Dark Racing 40, so he's now just coming into La Source. As everyone's settling in for the evening now, for the nighttime running of this 24-hour race.
And look, if anyone can catch the top 2, I mean, this guy, he can do it, no question.
Yeah, with a headache and all, apparently he's got a bit of a headache going on at the moment. He was almost going to pull out, and look at the battle behind, both between Dado on the outside. Will he be able to pull it up before he gets into Lacombe? It looks like he's already made the move anyway, so he can protect that line.
He's got him.
Commander Jim had to just get on the brake that second time as Dado was just making sure that the car was stable. So where's Tim and Jack now? Where does he come back out of the pits there in 10th? So he's got Dark Lord in front of him and Quick Mick behind him. So sort of a bit in no man's land at the moment. But can we have a look at this speedo and just see if he actually filled up his tanks as well?
Yeah.
Yes, he did. So that's probably why he was holding up there at pit lane entry, just to make sure that all his strategy that he was going to originally start on without any incident, he probably had to try and change it a little bit.
Yeah.
And hence why we've seen him also on the grass, because he was probably trying to do it on the fly, and then time ran out on him.
Yeah. He's in for a long stint here for sure, but yeah.
Well, look, everyone's in for a long stint, aren't they?
And, no.
I think.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, I got you.
No, I know what you're saying, but it's a long stint where he's not really in that battle, but I think, he's just got to know that with a long way to go still, and as long as that strategy, he can still hold a strategy with a bit of an amendment to what he was originally going to do.
Yeah.
He could still be fighting for a podium by the end of this race.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a tough one for him, because obviously you'd have to have one of these. You'd have to say Logical, Weary or Dark, or even Dado. They're all going to have a bit of a problem themselves. They've already had a bit of an issue. Like Darky's had a run-in with Dado. Darky had a little bit of problem at the start of the race as well. So, things are going to still happen.
Yeah, that's right. Whoa!
And that's going to be a time penalty added to Dark Racing 40, I'd say, unless he's going to coast really hard.
No, he's got on the brakes here.
So that's exactly what Dado wants to see. Dado's still keeping it clean. He's one of the few that haven't got a time penalty. All those red squares in front of the drivers' names mean they've got a time penalty for end of race penalty.
I'll just have a look at your race leader now. We've kind of neglected him. He's just been running by himself there. 7 seconds in front of Weary Night. Yeah,
I'd say be happy. We've been neglecting. There's no way for a commentator's curse, but here we go. On the P51 Sim Sports man of the moment at the moment, Logical Sports. He can't be doing too much wrong.
No. See, the last lap
really
was 2:22.398, so he's focused and he's still on it.
Yeah, we've seen him go to a 26 here or there or whatever. I think he maybe had little moments here and there, but most of the time when I've been looking, he's been in the 22s all the time. So he's just doing his normal logical thing and just keeping the constant, consistent lap times going. But I said to the lead up to this race as well, throughout the week to the guys, I've been really looking forward to seeing how this Nissan goes in the hands of a Logical Sports. Obviously this car was driven by Slide Science last year, and again he had a disconnect or some issue there that happened to him. I think it was a big monumental disconnect actually, or something happened, big failure, and so that put that car out very early in the race last year. But this year, doing a great job.
He certainly is.
I don't want to put the curse on, but for some reason, I think it was lap 20 last year that this car may have had its issue.
Oh,
and we're on lap 20 right now. I shouldn't have that evil laugh in me. But,
there's Weary Night just in the background there.
Yeah, no, Slide Science actually made it to 40 laps, I should say. So he probably continued on. It wasn't as early as I thought. So he completed 40 laps of the 62-lap race.
Okay, yep.
So this year, with the when we chewed up a little bit of time for the start of the race to do a formation lap, compared to what we did last year due to the restart of this lobby.
Yep.
I'd say we might be looking at around about 61 laps maybe this time around.
So Dark Racing is now in second spot, so something's happened to Weary Night. He didn't pit, did he?
Oh, yeah. No, Weary hasn't pitted. He's obviously had a little moment. Now, Weary Night's obviously those headlights have got a yellow tinge to them. And I think the other car that's got a yellow tinge to the headlights as well would be the car of Nürburger, currently in 8th. So he's slowly been pegging him back, and it won't be long, and we'll have to keep an eye on that because he's going to be in a battle with the third of the P51 Sim Sports cars very shortly, with Matty Seeking in that nice sounding Cadillac.
There's Matty.
That's his mission. Matty just wants to keep motoring around and make the most of everyone else's mistakes.
So Night Havoc has just done a 2:21.8 on the last lap. I'm not sure what the quickest lap of the race is, but that's pretty quick.
That is fairly quick at the moment by Night Havoc, and I think you've got it there. That is, Dado's got a 21.6, so in the Mercedes, the AMG.
Okay.
So Dado at the moment has got the fastest lap of the race this year at the current stage. Oh, Matty, you got to hold on to it, mate. You're going to put an invite for Nürburger. He's only 5 seconds up the road. Won't be long. You can hear this thing. It sounds like it's valve bouncing.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
As he's on the rev limiter, but it's just how it is on the audio. I believe that he's not running it way up and just bouncing on the rev limiter at all. So you can just start seeing the yellow glow of the headlights in the background and some of the shots here from Matty Seeking. There it is, and he's having a flash of his lights, Nürburger, letting him know he's on his way. Nürburger, I'm still thinking that Nürburger... 2:22.3,
that's quick. Nürburger's last lap.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of 22s, but I'm still thinking that Nürburgring could be the car that's been coming underneath the radar through this race so far, because we did know that he pitted early. That's why he's so far back, but his pit stop was only very short. And I think it was actually a strategic call, knowing that a lot of these cars are going to have a stop for a splash and dash near the end. He's probably done it in reverse.
Well, he's only got 30 litres left. So he'll only be on one stopper, wouldn't he? That'd be the plan for him, I would have thought.
Well, he's going to have two stops. Everyone has to have two stops. As I said, the second stop for most cars are going to be splash and dash. So he's probably going to be able to run that fuel, fill up his tanks, and that'll be it, and then run to the flag. Whereas a lot of these other guys that haven't pitted yet, they're going to pit, fill up their tanks, but they may need to pit for another little bit of fuel, which what I'm saying Nürburgring did on lap 3 or 4. What did I have here? Lap 4 he pitted. So we'll keep our eye on Nürburgring, because as we say, he's just doing those constant laps, and it could just well and truly come back this race to him right near the end, where he could be actually fighting for a podium, or if not for the win.
Not sure why he's flashing his lights though. But anyway.
Flashing his lights around, just trying to distract Matty. But could also be, sometimes I've noticed in the game too, you wonder why the lights are flashing, but no one's flashing.
No one's
flashing their lights.
Yeah.
And they say, no, we weren't flashing our lights. But, you know, they could be telling us porky pies as well at the same time.
Yeah.
But here he is in the number 1 Team WRT Audi. I think I reckon he is flashing, because he's actually flashing him at different spots there, just to... and just having a look at the nose of that front of the car on the side, he's obviously, that may be why he pitted early. It looks like there's evidence that he has had damage. Unless that's been some battle scars as he's been coming through the field. No, he's had to do that as well.
He's really much quicker than Matty Seeking at the moment. Just gaining hand over fist here.
Oh,
there he goes.
Nice and easy.
Straight past.
The Cadillac was just wheel spinning out of the source. Just couldn't get the power down.
There's the Logical, just done a 2:21.7.
Yeah, not quite the fastest lap of the race yet. It was a 20. What did I say? It was a 21.4
6
from Dado.
Oh, 4.
6, yeah, 21.6 or something. Yeah, from Dado. Getting close, but here he is. Have a look at Quick Mix car. I really love the livery of Quick Mix. I don't know if we can really see it. We might have to come back in the daylight hours. But I'll tell you what, it looks like the Andretti Motorsports symbol on that car.
Yeah.
It's a nice looking car, but it's been in the walls. It's had 2 stops for damage, that Audi. But he seems to, last minute, he basically gave a message 10 minutes before the start. Any openings, can I jump in? And obviously we've had a few guys not turn up tonight. And I said, yeah, we'll come and jump in and have a go. So he's not doing too bad, obviously, with a car that's probably not set up at all really for him. And he's just running, having a bit of fun, enjoying his time out there.
There's a Logical Sports.
It's a good game. Yeah, it's a good game though, with the visuals in it for the time progression and all that. You can do a 24-hour race over the 2 hours 25. It's a long time, but you get that whole immersion going on, and it's not too bad.
Yeah, it should look spectacular when the morning eventually arrives. That nice orange sun, hopefully.
Yeah, exactly.
Pink hue.
As Dado's getting right on the back of Weary, so Weary's in 3rd. And Darky up in 2nd, 15 seconds away from a Logical, and just trying to keep Logical honest. Won't be long too, and these guys are going to need to come in for some fuel. They've been running not quite on the hour yet.
So Dado's really gaining hand over fist on Weary Night here. He's got the run on him.
Yeah, so Dado has got time up his sleeve. That's in the race, probably not in years, as he's one of the eldest drivers in our league, the old statesman. absolutely does a fantastic job out on track all the time. Obviously, he got, he's just given him the curse. He's ran wide out of the corner with no name. Looks like it could be a disconnect from Dado. He's just caught on
Stuck.
the screen. There he goes. Dado's been disconnected after I was just saying that he was been going so well on lap 23. Oh no, so he'll be ruining that.
Yeah, he's also one of the nicest blokes in the group as well, isn't he? I mean,
that's it. And at the end of the day, he's just probably going to sit back with a bourbon now and watch our stream and be a bit gutted as he was making a good comeback. So we started with 12 down to 10 now. So we've had 2 retirements. We had Slide Science retire on lap 10 with tyre issues, and Dado Racer with just a car failure would put it on lap 23. With a corner with no name as well. Parts of all corners.
Doesn't get any worse, does it?
Well, we've got Dado's corner now, haven't we? We'll be known as Dado.
Oh yeah, you love that. He'll still be swearing and throwing things around in the living room about now.
Oh, and Highlander is commenting as well. Yes, he does know the pain. Highlander, the man that lost out on the V8 supercar title last year by a disconnect over in the Bathurst 1000, leading the race with Darky. And there's been a number of other disconnects that he's had as well throughout the series. It's cost him dearly throughout his time with us here at ANZCRL. But sometimes these things, well, you'd like to say they can be helped, but you're in the internet gods sometimes. Sometimes it's nothing to do with the internet either. It's just the game. It's just all of a sudden just throws you for no reason. You've got no problems with the internet. You've got no problems with anything else, and it just drops you for some reason.
So these two Audi, the virtual drivers team, they're now 4th and 5th. Up for a strong result again in this one. So they've been really consistent, these guys.
They have, and been running pretty much together, like following each other throughout most of the race. So, they're basically making their impact on the track at any time. Seeing the green cars coming on through.
So now Nürburger, your man, he's up to 6th.
Yeah, doing a good job, and only just on 50 seconds off the lead as well of the race. So, he's well and truly still within a big striking distance here. So all those cars in front of him, they'll be really monitoring his times and seeing how he goes. And it'd be interesting to see. We've just seen him on 18 litres of fuel. It'd be interesting to see how much fuel Logical's running at the moment. The man leading the race at the moment. 15 seconds lead over Dark Racing 40. As his twin turbo Nissan, he's got 31. That had so much fuel to start with too. So he's only going to do one stop in that Nissan. So he's looking very good at Logical Sports at the moment.
Very strong.
They must pack fuel in every little part of that Nissan to have so much fuel.
Door handles, tyres everywhere, spoilers, crash helmets.
Be like an aeroplane, mate, having on little wings out there. And so, but Nürburger, as we said, we'll wait and see, because anything can happen, as we know. Logical Sports, he's going to be starting to get up to some harder lap traffic that he's got to try and pass. And anything can happen, especially at this hour. We're looking at around about, what did I say? It was around about midnight right now, just after midnight in game. So it's probably going on to about 1 o'clock in the morning. Once we get, I think around about 1 hour 13 remaining, roughly, something like that. 1 hour 12. That'll be around 2 o'clock in the morning in game time.
Yep. No, he just gets stronger and stronger, doesn't he? in Project Cars 2, does Logical Sports.
Yeah, he's doing a great job.
He really does.
Within our ANZCRL Combined Racing League. Oh, he's up here on his fastest time. We could actually see this could actually be, he could top Dado off for the fastest lap of the race so far with this lap around. As it looks like Tim and Jack's the man just in front of him. You can see that yellow Renault. Unfortunately had to pit for damage early on after having a bit of a trouble with coming to with Night Havoc.
Yeah, that sort of sent his race south, didn't it? We thought he may come back, but he hasn't quite matched the lap times as what he was doing in the first 35-40 minutes. But he could get stronger as the race goes on. We'll have to wait and see.
So there goes the Logical with a 21.5. So I'd say that would be
the quickest lap of the race.
Yeah, of the race so far.
But he's still got 27 litres left in that Nissan.
Yeah, so obviously, I think maybe when you look at it, Nürburgring, when we did see on the starting fuel, I don't think his car was fully fueled up either.
No, it wasn't for sure.
So he may have made a few little mistakes, and when he pitted for that little bit of early damage, if it was, it might have only been for a little bit of front-end damage. Maybe he didn't take on any fuel either, which might have, he might be kicking himself now.
I'll tell you what,
if he did.
We're talking about some of these other guys, but that's the second time in 3 laps that Night Havoc's gone into the 221s. So he's got this thing hooked up, and he's absolutely flying in this Audi.
Yeah, he's you know, and again, if he wasn't going backwards for in front of Tim and Jack for a while, mate, he would have been right up there, probably in second position, I'd say.
Yeah,
close to it, because he was in front of Darky at the time, I believe. Darky was the one that was behind him.
Well, he's just under 5 seconds behind Weary Knight at the moment, and he's catching him all the time. So he's certainly one to look out for, I reckon, in the second half of this race, that's for sure.
So just confirmation from the statesman from Dado Racer that he just lost all power for about 30 seconds in the car, and then she went kaboom, it just wouldn't start again. So
unlucky, mate. Unlucky. Next week.
Maybe fuel pickup problems in that in the AMG, in the Mercedes.
Quite possibly.
Couldn't quite get it in there, Lewis, could he? And Night Havoc, yes, you're saying he's absolutely flying.
He is flying at the moment.
And these guys here are really comfortable in this Audi as well, because they're the ones that actually, in our side endurance championship championship that we're doing, him and both Commander Jim are together in the same cars.
Yep.
So they've obviously got a lot of knowledge in the car.
Yep. I think not long ago, when was the last one? Oh, that was Long Beach.
Long Beach, and Night Havoc won the race, and I think...
that's right, he did win the race, yeah.
He was the one that had the incident with Dado. I was saying Dark Lord, but it was Night Havoc that had the incident early on, remember, coming into the final hairpin there at Long Beach, and dropped a few positions and just kept his head down and just kept going.
Yep.
Came back and took victory in that race. 2.5 hours around Long Beach. It was simulating 5 hours, so it was the 5-hour Californian Sunset 5-hour. And you can catch that up all on our ANZCRL Combined YouTube channel. But yeah, he came home and they were looking for a 1-2 with Commander Jim, and remember Commander Jim was a disconnect right near the end too at some stage. So was it a disconnect or he had a spin? I can't remember. Something happened there and lost the ability. I've been chasing all season long in that endurance championship to be a 1-2. So they're waiting for September when that starts again, back up for round 4, which will be the 24 Hours of Britain at the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit.
So this guy is just about, Nürburgring is just about ready to come into the pit shortly. He's only got just under 9 litres of fuel left, so he's going to have to make a stop.
He'll probably get another this lap. He'll probably get this and the next lap done.
Yeah, 2 laps,
yeah. But obviously knowing that he's already halfway through, so he's only going to have to pit that once for that fuel. as I said, unscheduled stop for maybe some damage. I thought it might have been a strategy call, thinking that some of these cars need a splash and dash, but it looks like they're all going to get through with only one stop. Majority of the front runners anyway. And look, only 3 cars now have only got, the only ones are without time penalties. So Matty Seeking still holding 7th position in that Cadillac, with Dark Lord 78 coming at him in from 8th position. Dark Lord in the second of those, well, I wouldn't say the second, he's actually the leading Renault after Tim and Jack had a bit of an issue. But here we go, look at that blue. It'd be nice if we had another car following him, lighten up the electric blue on the rear of that car and the sides. He's running on his own at the moment. It's probably one of the toughest things to do in these endurance races, just running on your own, lap after lap. You just got to sort of concentrate on a lap number, don't you, really?
Yeah, it's not easy
at time, and yeah, just sort of think, well, that's what basically Logical's doing out in front at the moment too, but it's probably better to be in front than being stuck down in 8th. But Logical's just been constantly doing, we talked about it earlier, days 22.
So Nürburger's just come in the pits now, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, that's all right. Obviously, it doesn't really matter if he pushes another lap or not. He's still going to have that fuel to get to the end. So we'll see what he does here. He'll obviously fill that tank up as he's on the money there. They'll get the tyres changed, obviously in game. On this screen here, it doesn't look like they're doing anything. It looks like they're having a bit of a smoko, but they really are probably changing the tyres after the fuel. So that was Matty Seeking. You could hear just on the rev limiter bouncing it around in the Cadillac. In the back seat of the Cadillac, eh? That's Matty Seeking. Good times.
And that's Dark Lord just coming into the pits as well.
Yeah, so scheduled stop for him, I'd say, for fuel.
So look at old Tim, see how he's going. So he's got a lot of fuel. Is that enough to get into the end or not? 87, 88 litres? Probably not.
Well, yeah, he's the one that had to come in for that damage.
Yeah.
It's going to be close. Well, look, at the end of the day, I think it depends on his fuel burn, because Nürburger's had his fuel at the start of the race around that 80 odd litres, and he's only just pitted now. So, you know, it's going to be hard. I don't think he'll get to the end, to tell you the truth. Unless he starts doing some fuel conserving, but probably the best thing to do is just to go hard.
Yeah, just go hard.
For a spot as Dark Racing is into the pits.
Here he is.
Mandatory for his fuel stop. As Dark Lord just flies by out. So it's all going to get busy here in the pit lane very shortly. As you can imagine, Logical Sports will probably run that little bit longer. He seems to have a lot of fuel in that Nissan. It looks like he's Darky's actually pulled up in Logical's pit bay with those same sort of teal blue colour.
Teal blue, yeah.
Teal blue pit crew. So Matty Seeking, he will be the next man, probably trying to hopefully come on through. He's
They're just taking fuel off.
Chicane.
He was 120, now they've gone down.
It's because he's burning fuel there.
Oh yeah, of course.
Just sitting there. But here comes Matty. Listen to this Cadillac. There we go. So Matty now moves himself up into 5th after with Darky pitting. All the guys up front still have to pit. Long pit stop for Darky.
It is.
He's still stationary.
Still there.
So that's obviously, that's damage repair as well, because remember he had that damage with Dado.
That's right.
So the 63 Scuderia Rapper Olio Audi R8 motors out of pit lane, and here comes that Bentley with that nice glow of the front grille, the 85 P51 Sim Sports of Weary Night. Back into second after Darky's pitted. In a 22.16, so his pace has been up and down throughout the race, Weary.
It has been, yeah. Been a little bit surprised by it, but like you said today, he hasn't played a lot of Project Cars 2 lately. He's mostly been focused on ACC. He didn't participate in the, what was the last ANZCRL championship, because he wasn't in that.
The team's endurance.
That's right.
championship.
Yeah, he didn't participate in that. He wanted a break. Did he race
That's
last
right.
week?
We have.
I don't think he did. No, he didn't, because he had a power outage at home, and then
That's
he made
right.
So it's been a little while,
and that was a bit costly for him too in the GT3 championship, I believe. Not scoring any points last round, but he's here at Spa, running second to his teammate in front. When we say teammate, they're part of the P51 Sim Sports franchise. They're all in different cars here tonight. So he's the Logical Sports is in the twin turbo Nissan GTR Nismo, and then we've also got Matty seeking in the Cadillac that we were seeing earlier. But here he is just about to put a lap on Nürburgring. Nürburgring will obviously want to stay on this lead lap, but he knows that Logical Sports will either be in this lap or the next. He'll be actually extending. If he pits now, he should get to the end. He will get to the end with fuel. Actually, he's got enough. So we're halfway through the race. So it's 2 o'clock in the morning in game time. Nice, then it get nice and chilly here in Belgium at the Spa-Francorchamps. And we'll see if Logical takes this opportunity to pit so he doesn't get caught up with Nürburgring. No, he's going to do another lap around. So bit of a calculated risk here. He doesn't want to have any incident with Nürburgring. There shouldn't be any incident, but you never know. Especially at this hour, there's a bit of fatigue starting to creep into the guys. As we just talked about earlier about the 5-hour California Sunset 5-hour. They all ran for 2.5 hours last weekend. Back in it again as Night Havoc is now in the pits for his fuel. Coming in from third position.
Super impressive so far, this guy.
He's been doing a great job. And his teammate Amanda Jim. So they obviously won't have to double stack here in game. So we'll see where his pit bay ends up, but it must be pretty close to where Night Avi's just moved on through, so he's a bit further up the lane. And there he is.
Now, will he pit this lap? Will he, won't he? I wouldn't mind betting. He got around Nürburgring. No, there's Nürburgring just there still.
No, Nürburgring's still there, but he was definitely going to have to pit this lap. He started this lap with 8 litres, roughly just under 8. So the burn of the fuel is enough for him to have to pit in this lap. But they're on pace to get around us to 61 laps, roughly. The race record for the 2.4 hours is 62 laps, set by Colonel Lloyd last year in the McLaren. Absolutely blitzed him, he did, with a lap time also of a 2:15 in a race, or 2:16 I should say, in race trim.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
Oh, crazy lap time.
Well, we're soon going to find out as he approaches the bus stop now. Here he comes.
Here he comes, in he comes. So the leader of the race is in for his stop. So only one stop through this race. We all thought that maybe they had to do two with the splash and dash, but obviously they've got enough fuel on board to get to the end.
Okay, mate, I'm just going to take a 5-minute break, alright?
No worries. Well,
do you
we'll
want
keep
me
an
to start
eye
with the
on Weary
logical?
Nights.
Or go to Weary's in the pits as well?
Maybe go to Dark Racing 40, I'd say.
Okay.
Thank you.
Back in a tick.
So just after halfway point, we're looking at Dark Racing 40 in 5th position. We're going to see how far he comes, how far, I should say, Illogical and Weary Night come out in front of Dark Racing 40. He was in 3rd position. There's Quick Mick is here now in the pits again for fuel, I'd say. As we've just got the race director just leaving us at the moment, just have a quick break. So as the early morning starts to come upon us, we'll start seeing it get a little bit lighter as Dark Racing is up half a second faster than what he has been around previously, as the leaders are just starting to come out of the pit lane now. So he was around about 15 seconds behind of Illogical Sports when Darky pitted. So we'll see how much of a undercut maybe he's been able to do, how much he's benefit with the new tyres. He was in pit lane though for a long time, Darky, I think for damage repair as well. So I reckon he would have lost some time. But it looks like Darky's going to get in front of Weary Night, which he's done. So he's back into second. Well, not quite second yet, but he's still waiting for... Night Havoc's pitted as well. So Night Havoc's currently in 3rd position. So he's actually done a tremendous job. And we were talking about that earlier. Night Havoc had a blitzing section before he pitted. He was doing 21s. Low 22s and high 21s for quite a while. So that's actually leapfrogged him up in front of Darky. So he's 8 seconds up the road from Darky. You can just see his headlights there going into Lacombe. So we've just over an hour remaining of this race. You can just start seeing the sky starting to light up and the hills in the background silhouetting behind as well. Part of the race, a lot of the drivers welcome. They start getting their attention span back again with some of the nice visuals that start coming. Sometimes they have to close their eyes with the bright sun. Different parts of the track as the sun comes up over the hills. Illogical got a nice lead in front of his other P51 Sim Sports in the Cadillac, current running in second. Matty's seeking, but yet to stop. It looks like he's coming into the pits now. That time's dropping quite quickly, so we're assuming we will see actually not a pit stop at all. He's had a spin. Something's happened to Matty seeking. As we should see Matty just there. Here he goes. So he's had a spin. Out of turn 16, Darky's right on his hammer now, so I'd be assuming that Matty will be in the pits this lap around. Oh, as he's just crossed from the inside to the outside of the track. Big moment for Dark Racing then. You want to be caught up in any incident, and it looks like Matty as Darky's had a spin. Out of the chicane after he's been up to now, he's got to try and get that Cadillac again and make that another overtake, because the Cadillac's still going out. It's good on fuel at the moment. It's the Cadillac. The fuel's bringing the Cadillac into some solid positions later on in this race probably. He's yet to pit, but he'll probably drop down or close to 8th, I reckon, behind maybe Tim and Jack. Tim and Jack got back in front of his fellow Renault teammate of Dark Lord by the looks of things.
Okay.
As we've got it all from 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th, all pretty close, getting close to one another at the moment, with Matty Seeking at the moment still to pit, but he's actually had a moment early on which has brought him back up towards the rest of the field, so he wouldn't be happy with that. But we've got Matty Seeking, obviously we've got Dark Racing 40, Commander Jim and Weary Knight. And then Nürburgring, look at Nürburgring, he's not that far from Weary Knight either, so...
Still putting the good lap times, 2:22.5, that's a great lap time.
Yeah, so Nürburgring's really going well, but look, Night Havoc, bang, he's
Wow.
on 21s again. So I was just saying how he's actually benefited from the pit stops. He came out in front of Dark Racing 40, so
yep.
Dark Racing 40 is effectively in 3rd position because Matty Seeking still yet to pit.
Whoa, there's Quick Nick.
Well, Quick Nick going out. I've found in a new way around the circuit. So Night Havoc strong through the night of the Spa 2.4 hours. After running backwards on the circuit for a while, he got spun around with an incident with Dado Racer. I mean, not with Dado Racer, with
Tim and Jack.
Tim and Jack, and was running down the back of facing the wrong way and rolling and hoping Tim and Jack would hit him, but then unfortunately they collected at one another. Probably affected Tim and Jack's race more than Night Havoc, as it looks like Matty Seeking is now in for fuel. So we'll see. I reckon he'll come out just behind Tim and Jack, in between Tim and Jack and Dark Lord. So that Cadillac's been good on the fuel. The last one has probably stopped for fuel.
Yep. Yeah, Night Havoc been super impressive again tonight. Last lap 2:21.8, the previous was a 2:21.7. So he's not tiring at all. He's really got the bit between the teeth. He wants a podium spot again tonight.
Yeah, well, he's got the leader just going through Pouon now, so he's not that far away. So I'd say a logical starting to get sweaty palms at the moment.
You'll be watching those lap times, yeah. It's almost two
seconds.
Seconds nearly.
Yeah.
Quicker on the last one.
1 second and a half or so.
Yeah.
Close. Just over a second and a half.
It's down under 12 seconds now.
Yeah, he's coming hard at him. The question is too if he actually put tyres on. I'd say that they would have had to have put tyres on. There's no way they're going to get him to the end.
Matty Seeking's just jumped in because he's just out of the race.
He's retired, so
yeah. Boys, I'm disqualified. I made a mistake in the pit limiter.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. I was going to say, well, we wanted a pit lane reporter, and Matty Seeking thought, oh, well, easy gig. I've had enough. I'm getting out. But, no.
I'd be disappointed. He was on for a top 6, I reckon, there.
I was very disappointed because the Cadillac's very good on fuel.
Yeah.
Well, you're the last one to stop there, Matty Seeking, and we've just obviously got word, also as we know, that I've taken that Cadillac onto victory at Bathurst 12 hour once before, so it is a very nice car when you got it dialed in, and unfortunately you just couldn't make it stick as used a driver error into pit lane.
Yeah, I clipped the wall on entry, and then I had the limiter on, and then I've accelerated, and I think as I've hit it, it's I don't know, to be honest, but I've done it on the entry. I've clipped the wall on entry, and yeah.
Look, it's one of those things, mate. Everyone's done it. So anyway, we were looking at your one of your teammates here, Logical Sports, currently leading the race. But I tell you what, he's going to have to fight hard, I reckon, because Night Havoc is coming at him fast. He's been constantly lapping, almost second and a half faster.
Well, that last lap was 2.3 seconds quicker.
2.3 seconds faster to a Logical Sports. So, mate, the race is on with only an hour remaining. of this 2 hour 25-minute race as the sun's starting to come up now. Well, not the sun, but it's getting very light. So nice early mornings.
I'm just seeing the fuel loads here and I'm shaking my head. Well, it happens.
It happens, but at the end of the day, I think you've had a good time out there, I'd imagine, in that Cadillac.
Yeah, it's been... Had it dialed in. Just a couple of driving mistakes as well. Didn't help, but on the lot of it, just get on the road as well as I could. Doesn't like the elevation changes, so yeah, I'm just going to sit back and chill.
Sit back and chill, enjoy this as well. So Dark Lord 78, he's coming down in the pit lane where you are at the moment. Obviously, maybe for some damage, he's obviously having some problems with that Renault. I thought at this hour, these Renaults were going to start singing their song, but not to be.
A bullet down the straight line, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I thought that's what they're going to love, that night air, but unfortunately it's not paying off for them at the moment.
Logical Sports just struggling. It's now under 10 seconds now. It's just on 10 seconds.
Yeah, so strap yourselves in, everyone. It's going to be a run to the flag for sure. I know Logical, he's probably just still sticking to his numbers at the moment. Obviously, maybe, I don't know, he would have got tyres. Maybe they're not quite up to, something's not quite right for him at the moment with this cooler temperature, and as it warms up, it might come to him again.
I know this afternoon we did do some practice on ACC, and he did have a little bit of discomfort in his back. We know he's had problems like you, Woody, in the past with a back injury. So I just wonder if that's troubling him a little bit, or he's just pacing himself. It's hard to say.
Yeah, well, that's what happened at Rapuna Park in the last team's endurance challenge. Unfortunately for me, I was given an hour and a half just to test to see if I can. I hadn't been able to run for over an hour, and pretty much at that hour, 12-minute mark, I lost all strength in my leg and from my back, and just couldn't pull the car up, and started running wide and making a few mistakes here and there, and obviously in a lot of discomfort at the same time. So it can happen.
Oh yeah.
Not a nice feeling. As remember, we'll go back in real life as well with Davey Reynolds losing Bathurst 1000 with cramp.
Yeah.
I had that race sewn up about 3 or 4 years ago, whichever it went. I can't remember what year it was, but it wasn't too long ago. But Dark Racing 42, he's got some pressure with Commander Jim, Night Havoc's teammate, behind him. He's slowly catching him as well. Their times have been seesawing a little bit. So we've got the stat man with us at the moment, Highland. He knows all the stats. So 2018 was Davey Reynolds' cramp, the Bathurst cramp.
Yep.
So Darky coming out of Sector 2. He's still doing some nice consistent times.
Just want to have a look at the Logical now. He's 223 flat.
These cooler temperatures, that twin turbo in there is going to be a bit of a handful, especially putting the power down.
Oh yeah.
A bit inside information on the Cadillac. I would have only needed about 72 litres of fuel to get to the end. Yeah.
Yeah, so you would have been a fairly quick stop as well at the same time.
I still probably would have come out behind Nürburger because I would have put the fresh boots on, but would have been a hell of a lot lighter than the rest of them.
Well, our prediction was that you were going to come out just behind Tim and Jack, so you reckon you would have been probably splitting Nürburger and Tim and Jack?
Yeah.
Nürburger obviously came in early. Do you know in the race comms, did he have an incident at all about lap 2, lap 3, where at the pit? Or he came into the pits though, and it wasn't for too long, so I don't know what it was.
He had a couple of spins twice early on. I think the start of the race was actually quite crazy, to be honest. So I think lap 1 we had slide signs. Had massive moment at Rouge now. I think the cold tyres caught a few of us out.
Okay, yep. Tim and Jack is in. I don't know if that's for damage repair, but obviously I don't think he would have.
No, it would have been for
a little bit of fuel.
Nah, he'd just be topping up.
He had 53 litres.
Yeah, so probably 30, 40
to the end
litres.
He would have needed a splash and dash.
Yeah.
It's a long stop.
It is a long stop, but Weary Knight, the man that was running second for most of the race, is way back down in 5th position with Nürburger following him through. Not too far off, actually, is Nürburger. But Weary's starting to pick his pace up too, doing those 22.5. So
it was a long pit stop with that,
Commander Jim.
It was a strange one.
Yeah, he found himself in the lead for a little while. Well, got in front, I think, for a bit and then made a little mistake. And I think he also gave a logical little bit of a nudge in the chicane.
I think he got a penalty coming out of Radion as well, I think, and he just slowed, didn't he?
That's it, yeah. So he only really had the lead, I think, for half a lap or so. But, yeah. Not even that.
So Night Havoc again, 221.7. Logical back on it again with a 221.9.
Yeah, and he's up again.
His tyre pressure
first. Yeah, exactly. I think that's what it comes down to as well. So I reckon that, you know, once he gets back into these 22s here, Logical, he's going to make it hard for Night Havoc because Night Havoc's burning his tyres up too. So running hard. Night Havoc pitted on lap 30 for his fuel, whereas the Logical pitted on 32. So two laps difference on the tyres. But we'll say, Matty, that Night Havoc and Commander Jim have got good knowledge with these Audis. They're the cars that they've been running for the Side Endurance Championship, with it featuring the LMPHs and the GT3 cars.
Yeah, it's very, very pointy, that Audi, especially when it was behind you. You put it in places where Cadillac couldn't get to. Nimble.
Mate, the Cadillac can get wherever it wants to if you really want it to.
Disqualified.
Well, that's a new one. But I was going to say, I think everyone on this on the grid in this race tonight has all had a disqualification coming into pit lane for coming in too fast or coming in backwards or doing something in one of our races.
Yeah, just an error on my fault there. I've hit the wall and then I've turned the limiter off to get a power, not realising it already above the speed limit.
Now, just hold your breath here, guys. Night Havoc is looking to be putting down the fastest lap of the race here at the moment. Fastest lap is held by Logical Sports, so I think it was a 21.5 or something like that.
21.5, that's right.
He was up in the last sector, but he's a bit taily, but that he may be able to gather it and still get a bit of power on.
Has he done it?
We'll soon find out. It's a 23. No, it slowed down. That final sector 3, was terrible for him. And that's the time that the Logical will be putting a little smile on his face as he's Logical now. Where's he coming? It's coming up through Radion and up onto the Camel Straight. So he would have looked at that previous lap time and said, yes, I'm up a little bit on him. Darky's had a bit of a hard race tonight as well, but still he's in that zone at the moment where you can't discount him. Currently running third. Enough fuel to get to the end, so he won't be pitting again, as we've got Dark Lord just in front of him at a lap car. Weary Knight is giving chase to Dark Racing at the moment too. They're just roughly lapping the same times, quicker than the leading two that previous lap around. That nice morning sun now coming up.
So here's your man, Woody Nurburger.
Yeah, I put him down to come in third, so, you know, there's still some time.
Yeah, he's still a chance.
He's been running those 23s, 22s, obviously chasing down Commander Jim at the moment, and then won't be too far from Weary either, so, you know, anything can happen.
That's right.
And we know that Night Havoc is actually on a charge towards a logical, so, you know, anything that happens up front there, we don't want to see anything happen, but, you know, racing is racing, and sometimes a little bit of a incident can happen when they're challenging pretty hard at the end of the race after 2 hours, or more than 2 hours, a bit of fatigue, a little bit of laziness.
So he's 7 seconds now off of Logical Sports is Night Havoc.
What did we say at the top of the telecast too, Huds? We did say that you know, everyone to stick around to after the dark and it lights up, because that's when it's all going to start happening again.
That's when it happens, isn't it?
Yeah, and it is happening again. Once again, it just proves that you know, you have a little bit of time and endurance, but when you start just dissecting everything, the race is still on, even in that time when cars are split up between different times, they're on different strategies, something's happened, and the faster cars maybe had a little bit of an incident and they're coming back through the field. This is one man that's had to do it again after coming to a blows. I think it was just through here, through the con with Dado.
Yeah, with Tim and Jack, wasn't it?
Tim and Jack, sorry. Dalsing and Dado and Darky actually through there. Yeah, Night Havoc and Tim and Jack. I'm not too sure where it was. He was coming backwards, but it was along a bit of a straight area.
So it's this first sector that's, sorry to butt in, this first sector is where Night Havoc is gaining a lot of ground on that Nissan of Logical Sports. It was.
That means he's got more balls, mate, because you need more balls to go through El Rouge and Radion.
It might
so
be.
You got to be.
Nissan's probably not settled through Radion.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like Matty Seeing said there, that it's very pointy, this Audi, so it's a lot of left for right, so he's got it hooked up and balanced pretty well. And it's 5 seconds now, so just under.
Yeah, might need the sunglasses soon. That sun is very bright out there at the moment. Oh, look at the reflection coming off of that teal bonnet of Logical Sports in the P51 number 75 Nissan. He's got the old dirty Sanchez there on the windscreen. Might have to get some wipes out.
Nice.
We've got the boss. Oh. Is that the boss, Commander Cirrus, in the chat from P51 Sim Sports? Well, who is the boss of P51 Sim Sports, actually?
No, I'm claiming it now.
He's claiming it.
Yeah. There you go.
I'm the only one who's able to take on the Cadillac.
Matty's seeking. There you go. Well, it's good to have the boss of the P51 Sim Sports in the chat in the booth in the commentary.
I don't know if it's just skill or stupidity, to be honest. But
mate, you know, you might have just had other things on your mind at the time.
As we can just see in the foreground is Logical Sports, and here's Night Havoc under 5 seconds now.
Yeah, look at that lap time though.
Logical Sports last lap's 2:25. So he's obviously got problems with the car, or we just don't know, I guess.
Yeah, but the time penalties for Night Havoc have also increased on my little info feed down the bottom.
Okay,
so
4 seconds.
4 seconds. So really, he's got to still work pretty hard, but there's still plenty of time. Dark racing as well with no time penalties. And everyone else is pretty much on 4 seconds or 3 seconds. So I'd say where they get most of those penalties, Matty, coming out of Radion?
Nah,
running a bit wide through there, or going on Pouon?
It'll be going through Pouon or through Blanchemont if you run wide there.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Pouon,
obviously, Logical Sports hasn't had any accidents there at Pouon because he's got a nice clean record.
Yeah, I was burning the slowdowns, to be honest. They're quite easy to burn here. You just let off a 100 metres earlier in the braking zones. There's enough hard, heavy braking zones for the game to give it away.
Yeah, so we'll just wait and see. But Dark Racing 40, with the Logical making a few little mistakes now, he's with under 20 seconds now from the lead as well. And it's not long before Weary Knight in that Bentley as well starts, if he can keep in those 22s. So it's a bit not in character of seeing a Logical not managing those 22s like he had for the majority of the race. For a good hour 20, he's been running basically 22s, 2-minute 22s.
Yeah, he was very solid for the first hour in those 220, high 222s, wasn't he? So
that's right.
It's
knocking out a couple of 21s.
Yeah. There's obviously something not quite right, or
you may have got a bit of aero damage if you knock those bollards. If you take the corner too sharp, it does give you a bit of aero damage.
Yeah.
Bollards are made of concrete here, so
filled with concrete only for the cars that they want them to hit. I think we should have asked Jetto actually after last night in the practice. He seemed to clean up every single bollard there was on the track in the formation lap.
The second hardest hitting bollards, Magello's got it with their little red brick thing. You hit that, you get about 80 front damage. It's a
So as a Logical comes out of Puon, I think in the background we will see, there he is, Night Havoc.
Havoc, yep.
Logical now will be seeing that in his mirrors. So the man that's pretty much led every lap of the race so far is now getting challenged with only 42 minutes remaining. On lap 42, 2 laps more than what it did last year in that Nissan. The Nissan made lap 40 before it expired, so Logical treating the car a little bit kinder than what Slide Science did last year, I'd imagine. Or they've learnt from their mistakes and working hard into the P51 Sim Sport crew this year. Yeah, it could be exactly that, Highlander. You never know. The tyres could be an issue from the pit stop. They muddled them up, put the rears on the front and the front on the rears. Just kidding. But yeah, depending in the game, they can sometimes have a bit of a bug. Be a worse enemy actually have to pit in these races.
So Logical, he's gone back into the 222s again, which is great for him. Maybe that car's just settled down a little bit.
The session's set up very... It's a well set up session, to be honest, because the soft tyre hangs in there if you don't push him.
And maybe that's what Logical is betting his
he's got to slow down here. Well, it looked like it. He was slowing down a bit there for it.
No, well, Darky's turbo lag. Red. Yeah, well, Darky's definitely got a penalty because he's in the red as well. So he's chasing hard, but look at that now. He's only with 16 seconds, so he's been eating up that time on a Logical. And Darky only 1 second penalty. This could come into his favour too. Night Havoc with 4 seconds. Nürburger 8 seconds by the looks of it behind Commander Jim in the second of the virtual races car.
Yeah, so he's on for a top 5. He can continue with those lap times. 2:22.3 in the last lap.
Yeah, it's been an absolutely sensational performance by Nürburger after having that setback early on in the race.
There's Tim and Jack.
Yeah, he was doing so well early on in the race, holding third spot for a long time. Until we've been talking about how him and Night Havoc got a little bit involved in a bit of an incident. But Tim and Jack came out worse there because he hit him pretty hard in the front end.
Yeah.
When Tim and Jack was rolling backward, when Night Havoc was rolling backwards. He was doing Renault really proud in the first half an hour or so of the race.
I don't know what happened there with him. He was well in front of me, and I think he was bus stop chicane, and the car was just sitting there.
Oh, that's after he had the crash. He was obviously changing the pit strategy.
Yeah, he was actually changing the strategy. He parked it up there. As Dark Lord in that second of the Renaults. He's had a pretty tough race.
Whoa!
Keep it off the wall, which he does, but he's got to be careful. There's one of the team virtual cars coming on through.
Here it comes. That's Commander Jim.
That's Commander Jim, is it?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is going to be interesting a little bit at the end too, between Commander Jim and Nürburger for 5th position. And that Bentley too that we've seen, it's as it goes on with its tyres, it seems to start squirming around a little bit as well. So Weary Night holding 4th at the moment. Still a long way to go. 37 minutes. Can he hold on to that 4th position? Or will he come into the grips of Commander Jim and Nürburger behind?
See, Dark Racing 40 there. He's just plugging away, getting in the 222s most laps.
Well, he's doing it logical now, isn't he? He's, as you said, been in those 22s.
The top two, well, particularly Night Havoc, he's getting in the 222s and late 223. So, well, there's a logical 222 and a half. So he's got his mojo back. Night Havoc is a 220 flat, basically.
Yeah, and Darky's about to pass over the strip too, so we'll see what he's done. It was previous as 22.7.
And he's gone at 222.2.
Wow, so there you go, not too far off his best lap of the race. He's done pretty much a 22 flat as his best lap.
And see Tim there back in 7th, it's a 222.6. So obviously the track certainly quickened up a bit.
Yeah, as we try and pick up wherever we're trying to find. Sometimes the cameraman just loses his way.
Oop. Better get off Tim. Cursed last time I went on and praised him.
Oh, we were all praising him, and that's when it all happened.
Yeah,
so,
about a lap and a half of disaster.
Yeah. But intriguing battle here for the top 3. Darky just sort of still staying within striking distance.
Absolutely, is he what?
Glimmer of hope still for the 63.
35 minutes to go. There's anything can happen from here. Now have a look at Night Havoc now. He's got under 3 seconds to the leader of Logical Sports in that P51 Nissan GTR. Right with him.
Yes.
I seem to think that he may have used a little bit more tyres than what a Logical, chasing him down.
Yeah, well that's it. You never know. A Logical, he's got that experience, and he might have just been sort of conserving, just driving a little bit to numbers, knowing that he's going to be able to hold him off with better tyres if need be.
Ooh, Weary's had an accident.
Oh, look at the front of that Bentley.
So there we go.
She's bagged up.
We're were just talking if Weary would be able to hold off Commander Jim and Nurburger, and I was saying that
He'll be in the
mid-session that
pits.
car started to squirm around a little bit in that previous session. Just as it was going on dark, the car didn't look too good in a few areas when we were seeing it.
Oh, it's not driving well.
So who could have been a boss of P51 Sim Sports is putting his little 2 bobs worth, saying that it's one thing to catch the GTR, but quite another to pass
Comes
one.
Nurburger
So
now into 5th spot now, Nurburger.
So the P51 Sim Sports crew is starting to fall by the wayside. There's Weary Knight, guy that was being a Logical's wingman early on in the race, but he's now fallen foul to either the walls or something there. He's had a spin.
Yeah,
We've got the Cadillac man of Matty Seeking, the 3rd of the P51 Sim Sports.
Oh, that's going to be a
In
fair
the
old
booth
stop,
with
isn't
us.
it?
Yeah, he had
Yeah,
a bit of
so-
a moment coming out of Puon, and it's caught him out.
And Night
So
Havoc
look
on the
at
last
this.
lap was a second quicker than the Logical Sports, so he's really still pushing hard here.
Yeah, he is. And we got Dark Lord also. He came into the pits as well.
He came into the
they're
pits,
all
yeah.
having a-
And Weary's going to lose a bit more time because it's pumped full of fuel as well. Hopefully not a new set of Michelins. Don't need that now with half an hour to go.
Yeah, well, you could go and try and get some fast pace. We've seen the Bentley put in some nice quick times. He was doing 20s during practice, so we'll see what he can do. Might go out there and try and get the fastest lap of the race.
Still in the pits.
Yeah, long stop.
Big
Look at the
stop.
front of that bonnet. Not what he wanted to. Well, he didn't want to see that happen. Oh, these guys will be hurting after 2.5 hours last week at around Long Beach, and they're back in it here. At least they get a little bit of time to relax here at Spa, but another 2 hours, 25-minute race for the Spa 2.4 hour. So we're not getting much joy from Matty Seekin at the moment. I think he's got his hands buried into his head buried into his hands at the moment.
I do. I'm very disappointed in myself.
In yourself, and also your Bentley team there of Weary Night, but you've got to say,
Logical.
saying that, look, Logical not getting on. You don't want to be out there, as we said earlier. There's sometimes there the car just pitches to the right and you end up on the Armco railing on the opposite side of the track. But he's been able to hold on to that. That's all. I mean, Night Havoc wanted to see. Into Puon. Big, long left-hander, couple of left-handers. A run around. But he didn't actually lose too much time by the looks of things there.
No, I think he it was just in the just before that braking zone, wasn't it? So he kept it reasonably straight, didn't panic.
So we're on board Night Havoc in the number 12 virtual drivers by TX3, the Audi R8 LMS, chasing down the race leader in the number 75 P51 Sim Sports Nissan GTR Nismo for the ANZCRL's 24 hours of Spa with 30 minutes remaining. Hard on the brakes for the chicane. Onto the pit straight to start the 48th lap. Predicting 61 laps in this race. And look at Dark Racing, he's got it under 15 seconds now. As Dark Lord's back in the pits, he is not having a very good time of it. He may be having a little glitch there. One lap after the next, he's in and out. So it looks like he's just trying to change tyres or do something. Doesn't look like any damage for him to be pitting.
Oh.
Well, that was just a stop and go. So they're sort of seesawing around a little bit, but not too much, as Darky was a little bit quicker than the two cars in front of him that previous lap.
Yeah, you'll be wanting these two to come together pretty quickly, Logical Sports and Night Havoc, and you'll be keeping an eye on that battle. And
we've got to keep a little eye also on Nürburger onto Night Havoc's teammate Commander Jim as well. Only 2 seconds, or only a second or so behind.
Jeez.
Or we're on Dark Lord at the moment.
Don't know. Good question.
Oh, it does a little. It's a little bit of a glitch. Sorry, sometimes something happens there where it will click onto someone else when we're watching someone.
It's the cameraman not doing their job properly.
That's what it is. Yeah.
As Nürburger has got Commander Jim in all that whole camera fiasco as well. Unfortunately, we've missed that. So Commander Jim has dropped down to fifth, and Nürburger into fourth. And only 26 seconds behind Dark Racing 40. So while the cameraman was...
So Commander Jim looks like he's got a bit of damage there on the front left.
Distracted. We missed the... it was within a second though, and it was when they were coming up to the
pond. Yeah.
So
there's definitely damage there.
That's damage there. That's not behaving very well at all.
Yeah, so Nürburger grabbed him.
So now and have a look.
You'll be out
fly
there
down
ready
there.
to see.
Yeah, get in there.
Yeah, there's definitely damage here. By the looks of the Audi, it's definitely pulling to one side.
Yeah, it's...
So it's left hand down. Looks like there's... Oh, yeah.
It's everywhere. So Commander Jim, unfortunately, had a problems at Lacombe. I think it was roughly there where we moved to the camera.
Look at Darky's 21.5 lap time.
There you go. So that was close to probably the fastest lap of the race so far. So he's on a charge.
This is just adding salt to the wounds. Oh, man. Oh, he's
so we're
flying.
expecting Commander Jim in the pit. So you got to then click on to Darky. See how it's changed to Dark Lord.
Oh,
so you have to change. Yeah, so each time through that section, you're going to have to select that driver again, unfortunately.
Yep.
Yeah, he's into pit lane.
So Night Havoc.
So after all that, Tim's up to 6th. He's a minute behind Commander Jim, so...
Yeah, but don't count him out because Commander Jim's got damage.
Got big damage there, so...
And if Commander Jim's going to put some tyres on at the same time, who knows what happens there. So
have a look at this. Battle for the lead now.
It's
a second now between these two.
Yeah, it's been hovering there. Their times are pretty close to one another. And as Night Havoc there just runs a little bit wide. Coming out of turn 16 into Blanchimont now. I tell you what, Tim and Jack's going to be happy just to see that obviously there's a chance that Commander Jim's going to be close enough to him near the end of this race if Tim can continue on his way. 22 seconds up the road will be Commander Jim. As we need to now go and select on one of the drivers we were looking at because it's Dark Lord's trying to steal the glory.
Yeah,
you're going to keep you on your toes now, unfortunately, Hutch.
Yeah, a bit of bugger anyway.
So each time when we probably come up out of Radion, you may need to click on find Night Havoc and click on him again. There you go.
That's what happens when the trees come into it.
No,
Yeah.
that was the same for all of them. It's just that camera angle.
Oh, he's as you said, he's so fast through the first sector, Night Havoc. Oh, there's Tim and Jack. So any possibility of him challenging Commander Jim is all but to be dashed now. As Weary Knight is down in 7th, so he's got that possibility of maybe getting on the back of Tim and Jack and salvaging 6th spot. Yes, and that's one thing we've just found out by the man that could have been the leader of P51 Sim Sports. Audis 2, 3, 4 and 5 at the moment. They came here to try and go 1, 2 and 3.
And the Datsun's in front of them.
And the Dado's in front. But how long will it stay in front? I think Logical is definitely going to make it hard for Night Havoc, but Night Havoc as well. He's got a 4-second time penalty, so he can't just think that he can just hold behind a Logical and let the time run out just a little bit and be comfortable to overtake him near the end. He's going to have to work hard if he's going to be the eventual winner here tonight. So they've been running for just over 2 hours now, with 22 minutes remaining.
Oh,
hard on the brakes. How much did he make on the ground of Illogical then? So we might just go off this view if we can and pick up a camera angle. Actually, through Bradion. I mean, through. You may want to just go on car here now, and it might stay. We'll see if it stays on him. And might go to that tree camera view onto Dark Lord. And then once we get out of here, you can.
Bit of arrow wash there.
Stay on it.
Both of them. The Nissan and the
could
arrow
probably
wash
just go to the camera track view. That's the go. That way, there we won't have that problem now. Oh, the rear end just squirming around hard on brakes.
Darky just in the background there. 2:21.7, 12.5 seconds. Oh, sorry, 11 seconds. He's just plugging away.
Renault's back in pit lane for Dark Lord.
Yeah, the French manufacturer, mate, just slipping like a slimy little frog at the moment, or a snail, and it's not doing too good for Dark Lord. On what's lap time would that be? About 40 for him. He's quite a few laps down now, I'd say. So Quick Mick, the man that's obviously had a few problems early on, he may be having the benefit and maybe find himself up in 8th. So it's been a worthwhile race for Quick Mick to hang around. Started in 12th. Race for the lead. Who would have thought after 2 hours and 10 minutes, roughly, or 2 hours and 5 minutes, roughly, we'll be this close for the race lead. Logical Sports was able to get a gap of around, around about 20 odd seconds, I think. 15 seconds or so, I think, when Darky pitted.
Yep.
When Dark Racing was in second. It's been a hard race for Logical Sports and for everyone out there.
He's just got that benefit of knowing that Night Havoc has got that 4-second penalty, so if he just keeps chucking in the 222s, 223s, he's piling that pressure on from the front, isn't he?
Yeah, might have to just click on Logical Sports again, mate. As you can see, just come on down through here. Oh, Night Havoc again in Sector 1 and getting that nice draft from the Nissan as well, from the twin turbo in front of him. He's absolutely got this car dialed up in that first sector, that's for sure.
Oh, Logical a little wide.
Yeah, but you can afford to do that because, yeah, you get a double apex there and get the power on a bit earlier.
Where Night Havoc would probably like to stick his nose in if possible, probably coming around this kind of right-left to here, because that Audi was very pointed through there.
Yeah, and obviously Logical's still pretty comfortable. He's not actually moving down, protecting his line at the moment. He's still been taking his normal line. So he's still pretty confident with his pace.
And if he can get a run coming out of Stavelot, get to slipstream, kind of see if he can pull back a couple of Ks coming through Blanchemont to get rid of that aero wash, there's a chance that he can slide down at the chicane. Dark Lord's back into the pits.
Oh no, every lap. So there's obviously something wrong with his tyres. He's got the problems that obviously Dado's had over time. Slide Science had that problem early on in the race, which made him the big moment. A Logical Sports has run wide at the chicane. He's just been able to gather it up. But we've just seen there a Logical Sports, he's cracked under the pressure.
Darky at 2:21.8 again on that last lap. Just on 11 seconds behind these two.
He's running out of laps though, Darky. That's the issue.
He's still got 17 and a half minutes. There's plenty of time for these two to come together.
Yeah, there's we don't want to say anything about coming together with these two. They've been running so well. We need to just try and see if we can go to a Logical or someone.
Oh, here we go.
We need to go on board, I believe, through.
From 2 hours and 25 minutes of viewing, boys, what tree do you reckon that is?
I don't know. I'm not even seeing straight at the moment. I can't believe that these two guys are still fighting. So that Nissan is just putting its power down the best way it can. Each lap that it can stay in front of this Audi of Night Havoc, the better it's going to be with that 4-second penalty, because all Logical needs to do is just follow Night Havoc, even if that happens. But, you know, as we say, that no one wants to take victory of a race, finishing second on the road and using time penalties to get that win, that victory of the race. So Logical will still try and keep Night Havoc behind this for the remaining 16 minutes of this race. Yeah. That's for sure. But while he's doing that too, they're slowing up a little bit. That last lap, Logical was a 23 because he made that mistake into the chicane. That's just helping Darky close that gap. So when you say there's not that much time, I tell you what, Darky's keep being within a second or so of these guys before the end of the race. This is going to be a 3-car battle.
Burgess in 4th spot there.
Good recovery drive.
Very good.
Yeah, great drive at the moment. The team, the number 1 team, WRT Audi.
Oh, a bit slippery there, the Audi. A little bit of aero wash.
So if you flick back and just stay on that during this little section of the track, we'll stay on board with this battle.
Good run out of the source there from Night Havoc. Gained time by hugging that inside wall there.
Yeah, but look at the Nissan.
I just find it
down the hill.
Yeah, the Nissan's just fantastic on the exit of corners.
Oh, a little bit of a moment from Havoc. We're on board there. We've got sick of the cameraman. I think he's gone to sleep at Radion, so we've got to go on board through Radion these days.
Yeah. The botanist.
Botanist. Look at Darky, 2:21.9 now.
The only time you may want to take a tree home, Commander Cirrus, is if you're in Amsterdam, mate. So we won't worry about counting those leaves at the moment, mate. So we're in Belgium here.
Cirrus is off at Zandvoort having a good time. It's a
always a good time.
Track temperature's jumped up to 33 degrees now, so you're on that bubble now where if you start overdriving your car, you start sliding your soft tyres. The soft tyre doesn't like it.
That's right, and you know, this could be also a very calculated move by Illogical as well, knowing that he would have seen the 4-second penalty early on, even after those pit stops, and just thought, I'm not going to push too hard, let them come to me. And just conserving his tyres as well. I would be surprised that we may see Illogical belt out of 21 shortly just to shove it up these guys.
It does take a lot of tyre as well to defend those, especially when you're offline. You slide car.
That's right too. You are looking in your mirrors. You miss that turning point, so you turn that little bit harder to get back on into that apex. You can do everything. That's going to be, as you said, Matty, that's a very good point, place of the track where Night Havoc may be able to overtake into that chicane. He's very strong under brakes and get a nice draft with from behind the Nissan.
I know, because that's where he burned me.
From experience, from Matty Seeking. That's a bit nicer this time around for Night Havoc. He can breathe a sigh of relief that he stated on the track there this time round.
No.
So Darky done another 21.7, so he's still trying his darnest to close this gap. Absolutely smashing it at the moment, Darky, with these times. Oh, what Illogical did probably about 6 laps ago while we were on board Night Havoc. I tell you what, if Darky, it is always a what-if thing, the story of endurance racing, but if he didn't have that incident with Dado Racer in Lecombe, you could imagine him being right on the back of these guys right now. He probably lost around about 6 seconds or so with that problem with Dado. Dado lost a ton of time facing the wrong way.
But just a quick update from the pit reporter. The Bentley doesn't look like it's driving straight again. And neither does Tim Jack's Renault.
So they're just trying to limp it home to the end. There's 11 minutes remaining. If you can't see it on screen there for the viewers, it's usually a bit hard to see with the white background of these overcast skies again as they all night. Havoc stayed on the track with Illogical ran a little bit wide. He's got those rear brakes locking up that little bit.
There it is.
Oh, here we go. He's going to defend now. Illogical needs to keep that inside line.
There's the Parrot Datsun.
The twin turbo's really showing its strength out of the corners. But the braking of these Audis have just been terrific. Ooh, getting a little bit edgy there. So I tell you, so Matty, tell us, when you go through El Rouge and then Radion, do you breathe or do you hold your breath?
In the Cadillac, I hope for dear life that it sticks. 1 in 4 laps it does, the other 3 it doesn't.
Yes, right. So you're basically telling me you don't breathe?
No. But when it does stick though, especially in the Cadillac, I've just got the little speedo up and I'm comparing what I had. If it did stick, the Cadillac had about 5-6 Ks higher than everyone else drew there.
Right,
V6 chugging, but the issue is it never did stick. Something is still to work on.
Oh, here we go, Night Havoc. Oh, he's had to actually apply a bit more brake pressure then, not to get into the back of a Logical then. You can just see him close and then close it, and then have to back it. You can see the car back away. He's got the run here, but he's just can't match the twin turbo of the Nissan in front. This will be frustrating, Night Havoc, at the moment, knowing that he needs to clear him and then try and gain 4 seconds. Last time we've seen him was a 4-second time penalty over Night Havoc's head. 8 minutes remaining, still 4 seconds, 1 second to Darky.
Is it going to come to the point where a Logical lets Night Havoc through?
Here it goes.
No.
Here we go. Night Havoc now has taken the lead of the motor race after 2 hours and 15 minutes. Roughly something like that. He's now in the leader of this race, but he's now got a gap, a Logical, by 4 seconds. So what can we do? We've seen Night Havoc needing to brake a little bit harder in certain sections to avoid a Logical, so you'd think that Night Havoc may be able to extend that gap a little bit. The wall of death! We've just seen it on live, guys. That car will be absolutely damaged. He'll be lucky to get it to the end now. So here comes Darky to second spot.
He's got lucky.
So can we Can we pick up his speedo and just see? I don't know if he's going to have massive engine damage, because sometimes damage, if he goes speedo, we can see his temperature.
Oh, he's got big issues. It's in the wall again down Camel.
Yeah, but look at his engine temperature's gone way up too, so he's obviously trying to limit
he's gone. He's
the
a goner.
damage. So my man Nürburger, he looks like he's going to finish obviously finish in third. My prediction was of obviously Logical first.
Nürburger. Oh, you picked Dado, Logical and Nürburger, so you got 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3, so it's not going too bad at the moment. But unfortunately for Night Havoc, got the lead of the race and hit the wall of death. So everyone must have been watching earlier on when we were talking about the wall of death and saying, what are you guys talking about? Well, you just witnessed what happens. And it was only a slight brush of the wall, wasn't it, guys?
No, he's got very lucky, to be honest. The car's still working.
Yeah, but he must have only just featherly touched it. That's the damage that he got. It just pitched him, and wow. So he's still in third, but there's no way he's going to be able to continue on with this race. He's going to have to pit.
Munted. That's a shame. After
so
a fantastic charge.
He's going to drop a ton of paces. You'll probably find that his teammate, Commander Jim, will actually get
past him,
the past his spot. So he'll probably be down in 5th after actually taking lead of the race with only 8 minutes remaining. And I tell you what, I reckon a Logical Sports just let a big one go after
did he what? Yeah.
Oh, he would have had his heart in his mouth, because he only just avoided.
Yeah, but Darky's 5 seconds away though.
I understand that. Yeah, definitely 5 seconds. But I was just saying that he only just cleared Night Havoc.
Yeah.
And he could have collected Night Havoc going into El Rouge there. So there's no time that Darky can then try and put the pedal to the metal even further than right now. So what lap was that?
2:26 then, so he's gained 5 seconds that lap. He's coming quick.
That's because Illogical, as I said, he was on the anchors. He was having a big one going into El Rouge to try and avoid Night Havoc. It was so close.
Weary's back in the
And
pits
Weary's
as well.
back in the pits as well.
Oh, Weary.
Weary.
So with 4 minutes remaining, what a moment that was. Only 4 minutes ago, we're cheering through the chicane. After Illogical, this man made a big mistake, outbraked himself into the chicane, giving Night Havoc the lead of the race, but he only lasted 2 corners. Not even 2, yeah, 1 corner. He got through La Source, and that was it. Night Havoc met his match with the Wall of Death. Didn't succeed.
Oh, God.
So what a race by Illogical, though.
Oh, yeah. Totally deserved. I mean, led from the start, like you said.
Yeah, but as we can see, though, it's not over yet with
It's
dark
not.
racing.
No.
Look at that.
Oh,
The minute he
Coming
gets
in
into
hard.
the slipstream, Darky's on, because we
Yeah.
know the way Darky sets his cars up, he uses slipstreams to his advantage.
Unbelievable race this has been. The Spa 2.4 hours. We had Jetto coming from nowhere last year to get a podium, and this time around we have seen Illogical just keep pushing off his challenges, and he's still leading the race, but he's got another one coming right behind him right now in the Man Dark Racing 40 in the number 63 Scuderia Rapper Olio Audi R8. The Audi R8s, they've come on strong late in this race. Still,
Will there
they're
be
running
more
second,
drama?
Third, fourth, fifth. We don't know at the moment, but look at the way Darky's going at the moment. He is going as hard as he can, and I tell you what, don't discount Darky. There's going to be one more lap remaining. So they're going to get to lap
Maybe
lap,
2.
61.
Yeah, it
Or
might
not
be
really, it's
close
gonna
to
be-
2.
They're going to be one more lap after this. I don't think there'll be 2. 2-minute lap times. We've got 2 minutes remaining.
Oh, yep, sorry, my bad. Rip.
I'd like to see 2 more laps, because I tell you what, I think Illogical will be it will be struggling big time, almost like a sitting duck, because this man here is absolutely flying. The last probably 10 laps of his has been absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal. And Darky will be happy after his poor performance at Long Beach last week, where it all went pear-shaped on him late in the race. He's had to battle hard. He's been battling physically here tonight, and he's doing a great job. And with Believe Illogicals too, probably got a few issues as well, with maybe a bit of back pain. He's doing a tremendous job out in front in the Nissan GTR.
21.9 for Darky on that lap.
This will be the last lap, so he's got to clear him
2
again
seconds.
and then finish by a
2.5
second.
seconds.
Going to be hard by the way the Logical's driving at the moment. Look at him go, Darky. He
Oh,
is
he's just smashing
like
it.
a man possessed at the moment. So they
Darky
got
was
through
one of them
to
catching up here after Illogical stole Indy 500 off him. 1 lap to go.
That's right, Darky running out of fuel, wasn't it? Oh no, I'm thinking of the Daytona 24.
Serious is not here.
That's it. Yeah, we're talking about that actually on last night. Sorry, me and Sarah, so got it all muddled up.
He's almost within striking distance here.
That's right, and you never know. We've seen Illogical being, he's made about 3 mistakes into the chicane this second half of the race, so you never know what might happen. We may just want to go onto the track camera though and pick him up here so we can start seeing Illogical Sports. This is his last lap. He has done a tremendous job in the P51 Sim Sports 75 Nissan GTR Nismo. He's only had a few little lapses of concentration, but at the moment it's under a second with... it's Darky! There you go. So Illogical Sports, I think he's playing Mario Kart and dropping bananas out the back of that exhaust because they're all spinning behind him. Unfortunately, Darky has had a very valiant drive, really, just challenging hard. But Illogical, no one could upset him. No one can destroy this victory for Illogical and P51 Sim Sports, taking out the 2021 Spa 24 Hours. Congratulations to Illogical Sports.
Awesome drive, mate. Tremendous performance. Well done.
As Weary Knight,
Thick boy,
comes
Thick
on
boy.
through. And I'm sure we're going to see some donuts by the man. Let's have a look at Illogical Sports. I'm sure he's going to start lighting them up.
Camera shot.
Beautiful job by Illogical Sports. He deserves this victory, doesn't he, Huds?
Oh, absolutely. What a performance. Pretty much
Weary
let them
just gone
go
straight
to
to
way.
the wall of death to end his misery.
Totally deserved.
So there you go. What a race. The 2021 fourth running of the Spa 24 Hours here at ANZCRL Combined Racing League, and it has been a tremendous race with Nürburger 79 coming home in third. What a drive. Great comeback drive after pitting early for damage on the second lap. As the burnouts continue here at La Source.
Oh, is he going to go for the wall of death again, Weary? Yep. He's had an absolute gutful of that Bentley.
Oh, he doesn't want anything to do with the Bentley. No. So who else are we waiting to finish? We're waiting for someone else to finish, I'd say. They all looks like a parking lot. It looks like Illogical has blown his tyres. He's gone. As you can see, it's ghosted out on him, and Starkey's trying to do the same thing. There's one car still coming through, a couple of cars coming to the finish. It'd be good to try and pick them up. Here we go, Quick Mick coming on through, and then there'll be one more car behind Quick Mick. Still running around somewhere as they come up to the final chicane. And there we go. So that's the running of our Spa 24 Hours. As the cameraman is just picking them all up, trying to find. There we go. Commander Jim coming home. I think it was in fifth. I think fourth or fifth.
He's in fifth.
Fifth. So Night Havoc ended up coming home still in fourth position. So after leading the race there for what would you say? That was probably 25 seconds. And that was about it. And that's the end of that race for Night Havoc. But Illogical Sports taking it out after 60 laps around here with Dark Racing 40 in second. And then Nürburger 79 in the second of the Audis. And then Night Havoc and Commander Jim in the virtual drivers coming home fourth and fifth. And then the first of the Renaults in sixth with Tim and Jack doing a great job there in the Sim Racing Magazine car. And then Weary Knight in the second of the P51 Sim Sports in seventh in that Bentley. And then the second of the Renaults with Dark Lord 78 in eighth. Then Quick Mick, the late starter into the race tonight, did a good job coming home in ninth. And then Matty Seeking, our famous pit reporter after that disqualification. Ruined at that because he obviously had a good end-up fuel load, he reckons, of strategy. So, but anyway, finished home in 10th on 32 laps. So
top 10, I'll take it.
Top 10 out of 12. And obviously we had the... I think it was Dado Racer on lap 23 when his engine expired, and then also tyre wheel issues with Slide Science. I think they ran out of tyres for him on lap 10. So there you go. Guys, thoughts?
Oh, look, it was Illogical
Should we get the
Sports.
winner in?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, let me just try and get the winner in.
Our thoughts, it's another year for some thick boys to get up to the top there, the Cadillac Independent. And if anyone knows what type of trees they are, please let us know in the comments.
I can't find Illogical Sports, sorry.
I'll stick by to be.
So just stick around. We're going to try and get the winner of the 2021 Spa 24 Hours, Illogical Sports, and the P51 Sim Sports car. I'd say he looks like he's just taken off celebrating like nothing else Illogical Sports.
Oh, he's already lubing the pipe system.
All right, well, we might call this a night. It's been a long night for us all. So we'll return to the lobby for the guys. And what do we got? We got the V8 Supercars season starting next weekend on the 25th of July.
Yeah, the Supercar Showcase.
And yeah, that's right. We were going to run a Super 2 and a Supercars, but it looks like we're only going to do the Supercars on the Sunday, but then have the Supercars out on the Saturday nights for some fun racing. Matty Seeking, our pit lane reporter, is going to have all the races organised for some fun races, I guess, on the Saturday night, so we're going to have a bit of fun before we get into it on the Sunday for our championship.
Yeah, definitely.
So I've been your host, Woody Lizard. Alongside me, Huds, as always. Thanks, mate.
No worries. Cheers.
And Matty Seeking, thanks for joining in and giving us some insight there of how much you've got to hold your breath through El Rouge and Radion, mate.
It's all good. The information's good for everyone.
That's right. So until next time, we're ANZCRL Combined Racing League for the Australian New Zealand races out there on Xbox Project Cars 2. Come and do a Google search, ANZCRL. You'll find us where we are, and come and join us for some good sim racing. Till next time, see you later.
Good night.